Harryhausen here. Very nice, very evil, very famous. You are watching the channel that is very nice and very evil. The Nation Network. Isn't that good? Yes, it's true. If you are not watching the Nation Network housing, you are... Wait for it. Wait for it. Cursed.
And the news has come out that Chris Jericho has returned home. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Dr. Wagner Jr. and almost the man who I've always said is almost a wrestler.
What could he have possibly done for the WWE? This is taking one of your top talents. This is the future of your women's division, and you almost ended it.
Hello, everybody. Whoopsie.
Fix that up a little bit. How's that? Hey, that's much better. Welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McSham with you here. And this is Wrestlechat. Lot to cover today. First off, shout out to everybody that's here live. Miracles in the house. DHW in the house. Got to check out a little bit of his stream earlier on today. Go check that out if you haven't. And I'm happy to say I'm now officially in the Hall of Fame. I appreciate that very much. I'm working on my speech. I'll get that together. Yeah, so let's talk about it. I haven't done any streaming this week. I blew off the Monday and Tuesday shows, and I'm just going to let you guys know right now I'm taking a break because I hate wrestling right now. There's nothing about wrestling that makes me want to deal with it anymore. The major products out there that we normally rely on are horrible. They're unwatchable. WWE is garbage. AEW has been garbage. TNA, it's just not good. It's just not good. It's nothing that makes me care about wrestling anymore. It's just gone. And then you have WWE 2K. And I can't even look at that game anymore. It just makes me sick how bad that game is for $150 and how little it does for $150. Universe mode is trash. You cannot use universe mode. Not effectively. You know, you can't get the stuff that you paid for. You got referees doing the run-ins. I just can't. It's just too many things just beating it out of me that I don't even want to watch wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling now other than old stuff. I've gone back and watched stuff from the 80s. Just makes it worse because then I realized, damn, why was it that good then and it sucks so bad now? Yeah, you had kayfabe, and that was a big difference. You'll never get that back again. And it's stupid to even try. I've seen companies come along trying to act like, no, this is kayfabe. This is a real thing. It's bullshit. The same reasons we knew it then. The only difference is everybody at least played the part. You know, even when they weren't on screen. Today's product, I don't know how anyone can be a wrestling fan today. When I see people buying $1,000 tickets, I don't get it. I simply don't get it. The product is unwatchably bad. And because of that, because the game is unplayable, because it's just like, I don't really want to even do it. It feels like work. And when it's work, I got to stop. So I'm taking a break. I don't know how long a break. I'll still jump on and do maybe these things once in a while. Game on, that'll still happen. And it'll probably be a lot more of that now. And it'll be stuff outside of wrestling. So if you're into video games, you want to hang out with me for that, that'll be an option. But so far as the Saturday shows and all that stuff, putting it on hold for now. May revisit it in the future. I don't know. It is absolute work. I'm not enjoying it anymore. The game has beat the fun out of it for me. The product today is absolutely, it's just so bad. There's no inspiration from today's product that makes me want to do something and say, oh, I could take that and twist it this way. It is such garbage today. That all said, J-Rock's in the house. What's up, buddy? Infrared, my brother from another mother's here as well. Welcome aboard. Let's talk about what's wrong. Let's talk about what's wrong. And boy, oh boy, if they didn't just show us what's wrong, why don't you?
What the hell? Oh my God! Who the? Oh my God! It's the Beast! F5 for Brock Lesnar!
The only thing I can say that they did right is if you're going to have a run-in attack on him, do it from behind with the blue light, and it's still, I mean, here's the attack taking place, and you're still not 100% sure who it is until he got him up in the rack. This was a nail in the coffin for me. This was the event. I saw this clip right here. When I saw this clip, there we go. I literally just kind of put my head down and said, I'm done. The only thing about WrestleMania this year that didn't suck was the retirement angle. There was raw emotion in that. They played it off. And here's the problem. And this is why it's wrong to bring him back. Is you're never going to get to capture the emotion that you had at WrestleMania for that guy's send-off that you're going to try now to get in SummerSlam. It's simply not going to happen. Because now we know what's happening. That was unexpected. It felt real. I'm not convinced it wasn't real. There have been stories going around that the WWE was suing him for breach of contract and all that kind of crap. Maybe. Somehow I doubt it. I somehow doubt that. I think in his condition, with his medical history, he could get a doctor to say he can't do it. He can get a doctor to put that in writing and say, no, he can't do it. And at that time, WWE has no choice. They can't force a guy medically to compete or perform more accurately. So I think bringing him back was choreographed. I do think that it was planned. I don't buy the lawsuit possibility, although it is a possibility. Will we ever know the truth or not? Nah, probably not. That's my guess. There'll be stories that go around. That's all I can say. Miracles in the house. Welcome aboard. Did I not catch you earlier? Yeah, I did. Infrared, they're not even the TV soap operas anymore. They're going to friggin' ChatGPT. They're just, man, it's so horrible. And the waste of talent. And you got guys like LA Knight who could totally turn things around for them, but they won't use him. Why'd you bring Matt Cardona back just to make him the same damn guy he was when he left? Cody's not Stardust. Why not? Because he made himself a bigger, better name outside the company, and they brought him back for that. Well, so did Cardona. And now he's just friggin' Broski 2.0. I just can't. I just can't. And then you got Nia still there, but you fired all the talented ones. I just can't do it anymore. It's hurting my brain. It's not fun anymore. It is absolutely horrible. I can't even call it a horrible form of entertainment because there's nothing entertaining about it. Nothing. It's garbage. Absolute bottom of the barrel, as low as the WWE has ever been in their history, they are right now. They just don't know it because they're making money because fools are paying that money. How can you possibly justify spending $800 on a ticket to see WWE Raw or SmackDown today? How? What are they putting on a weekly basis that is worth $10? I just don't get it. I simply don't. Just go in the house. Welcome aboard, buddy. Andrew Roberts, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, they fired really good ones. And not for anything, half those people weren't being used properly either because maybe ChatGPT didn't come up. I can't believe ChatGPT couldn't have come up with something better for the Wyatt family than what we saw. I'm willing to bet that's the friggin' writers that came up with all that crap. They brought Alexa Bliss back. She was supposed to be a part of that whole storyline. That never happened. I just, man, I'm so sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it. And there's more. There's more we're going to talk about here right now. Again, what's wrong with wrestling today? And it's not just today. It's been this way for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, for the history of the industry. And as much as Tony Khan has done for his talent, way above and beyond anything McMahon ever did, anything behind more than TKO is even going to dream of doing because they don't care, there's still something he hasn't done that it won't help the promotion, but it would set him above every promoter in the history of time. If you didn't hear the story, which I only heard recently, this was kind of the extra story that I says, well, I guess I'm going to go on and do this because I hadn't heard it. I think everybody knows that Marty Jannetty has had problems for quite a while now, and I believe it's his right ankle and foot have been a hot mess. I mean, the pictures were disturbing. He had to have it amputated. So Jannetty, this is with Yahoo Sports over here. Marty Jannetty's friend reveals that the WWE legend recently had his foot amputated. By the way, the friend is Eddie Mansfield. I think we remember him from the IWF, and he's also the guy that went on 2020 with John Stossel to basically expose the business back when kayfabe was still kind of happening. Former wrestler Eddie Mansfield revealed that former WWE Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty had his foot amputated. He's known for, of course, being part of the Rockers with Shawn Michaels. And he goes on to say that one of my dearest friends ever on the face of this earth was a great wrestler, had his foot amputated, and his name is the Rocker Marty Jannetty. I have high praise for Shawn Michaels. I really do. Shawn is dear to me. He's a really good guy. But where in the hell was the WWF to help Marty Jannetty? Hell, he made them millions of dollars, and you can't help him when he's in the biggest need of his life, fighting for his life. I don't understand that. Again, this is Mansfield talking. That's where I've had trouble with promoters the whole damn time. These guys in the WWE can get all these pay raises and all the other crap. I'm assuming that's crap. Screw the wrestling fans out of a bunch of damn money for tickets, but you can't take care of the guys who made you the money. I've always said that money, and this really irks my ass. Okay. Stevie Richards also had something to say about it.
He did not get it done for the reason we hear from all the workers and everybody who's an independent contractor, but especially pro wrestlers. No health insurance, no coverage. I have to keep wrestling because if I don't wrestle, I don't have an income. This is another example of somebody letting this go way too long without the proper medical attention. And here we are right now. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. And he makes a great point, and he's not the first one that's made that point. So the question is, when are wrestlers ever going to, and by doing this, it's going to affect the business as well, and not necessarily for the better, but when are wrestlers ever going to get together and form a union and just say enough of this shit? Hogan was right. You know, wait until WrestleMania. No, Hogan, not Hogan. Jesse was right. Wait until, like, right before WrestleMania. And then have the entire roster pony up and say, what are you going to do, cancel WrestleMania? What are you going to do? The game plan was right. Now, that all said, Hogan had a ton of injuries. He was the one that ended that. He squashed it. And he paid for it out of pocket or through his insurance company, whichever, he may have had, but he paid for it himself one way or another. Now, if you do unionize wrestling, I think you're going to see a lot of people with bumps and bruises that can't go tonight, and then the union's going to protect them the same way they do in Hollywood. If you know anything about the entertainment union, oh my goodness. Working at Disney, and we're talking, when we say entertainment, right? We are talking about people that are portraying princesses in costume and things like that. And my goodness, they can't be in that costume for more than 20 minutes, period. No exceptions whatsoever. Like the world will stop turning and the mountains will come crumbling down and the seas will part if they go 21 minutes. You can't ask them to do it. They can't do it if they want to do it. It's the union. So I can assure you, wrestling would take a massive hit. Massive hit. But at the same time, fuck them. I mean, the product sucks anyway. Might as well at least get them some coverage. We're not pouring dog food on the big dog. Bad yet. It's close, though. I'm sorry, man. I can't think of a time worse. There's nothing to watch on even AAA. It's not that they've gotten bad or anything. They're still good. I just can't get into it right now because wrestling right now is just, to me, it's garbage. It's just garbage. And I can't shake that off by watching this promotion or that promotion. It's like, to me, it's the overall conglomerate of it is crap. It's just sewage. Raw sewage. For those of you that are enjoying it, enjoy it. I don't get it, but you do you, as the saying goes. There's just nothing in the world right now that makes me turn on a TV and want to sit down and watch anything in the world of wrestling today. I can watch some of the old stuff, but yeah, this stuff, no, not at all. And then when you see what's going on with guys like Jannetty, and he's not the first one, right? You know, Buff Bagwell also have it recently done with his leg. And God bless Buff Bagwell. What a great attitude he's maintained after losing a limb. And he swears he's going to get back in the ring. I don't doubt it. I mean, we've seen what prosthetics can do. We've seen guys with one leg go in the ring before. With that same thing in mind, I wouldn't be surprised if Jannetty, you know, I don't see him having the same mentality that Buff does. But maybe the two of them hook up together and pull each other through. Hey, they could have a tag team match, maybe. I mean, Jannetty only lost his foot. We've seen Kerry Von Erich do it, so we know that's doable. I don't know. Well, that's everything that's wrong with wrestling. Let's talk about the one and only thing that I can find that isn't wrong with wrestling right now, and it's by dumb luck. Because the WWE is sitting on a gold mine that they don't deserve because they did nothing to earn it at all other than signing the guy. And now they're coming into this friggin' windfall cash beyond words. And, of course, we're talking about Danhausen. And if you don't follow other sports, which I generally don't, but...
Sounds wonderful. I do have a special mission I've been sent on.
Before we continue, to get you up to speed, because I'm a hockey guy and I still watch hockey. Other than that, I've given up on everything else. That said, I do happen to know that a week or so ago, Danhausen lifted the curse on the Knicks, who coincidentally have gone on a 6-0 run in the playoffs. They've won 6 games in a row since he lifted the curse. They are now going into game 1 a couple nights ago, last night I guess it would have been, against Cleveland. If you haven't heard this one, Cleveland had a 22-point lead with 7 minutes left in the game. That's a win. Except they lost. Yeah, the Knicks came back and outscored them, I think, 44-11 with 7 minutes left in the game into overtime. Went to overtime with a 101 score, and the Knicks just wiped the floor with them. This happened hours before the tip-off.
It is for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight to let them know that they are cursed.
Oh. Oh, man.
Why?
Sorry,
Well,
Cass.
because we're here. We're New York City, the world's greatest city in all of the world.
Okay.
So we have to curse their enemies.
Oh my goodness, and we're breaking it here on the show?
Yeah.
You know we have two guys who played for the Cleveland Cavaliers here.
Well,
Thankfully, we're not there right now.
you don't play for them right now, right?
Not anymore.
I'm just saying. This guy right now can print money. He never has to take a bump. It's insane. It's freaking insane. 6-0. And then with a 22-point lead, you lose. You know, Babe Ruth had a thing about him that lasted in Boston for, 40 years? An insane period of time. The curse of the Bambino. I gotta, you know what? The one show I will watch is the next time Raw or SmackDown is live in Cleveland. I gotta see what happens when he shows up there. He is gonna get his ass booed out the building. Oh my goodness. That's insane. He calls the curse, and then with a 22-point lead and less than 7 minutes to play, they fold. I'll tell you who's cursed. The head coach. He's fired, man. He is so fired. They'd fire him today if they weren't still in the playoffs. But I'm telling you, I coached basketball for a good 12 years or more. I forget now. I think that was, I want to say that was 12 years. I've never seen somebody up by double digits, especially when you're talking about that 18 to 20 bracket, and see 10 points of it come away and not burn a timeout. The guy left the game when it was over with timeouts left on the table. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're fired. You're fucking fired. I'd fire him today, personally, if I was a GM, and I'd sit the bench myself and call it. Just to wake everyone else up on the team and let them know who's next. I'm in a firing mood. Who wants to go next? 22-point lead. Damn. Danhausen is going to be ushered into Madison Square Garden on a royal pillar. They're going to carry him out like they used to do Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, my goodness. You can't write this shit. Well, sure as hell, the WWE can't write it, and that's what I'm saying. They're falling into a pitfall right now that they don't deserve. They had nothing to do with this shit. Other than signing him. He's been doing this for years. And he was selling merch at high levels long before AEW, long before WWE. So he's not a benefactor of the WWE machine, or as I keep saying, the TKO machine, because there is no more WWE. They're dead. As is wrestling. Infrared, you could be right. To be honest with you, we don't have, and it's sad to say, because back in the day, Florida, Central Florida was the hotbed, man. You had Eddie Graham and all that stuff, and that's all gone. We still have CCW, but that's kind of, 2.5 hours from where I'm at. They do come out here once a month. I suppose I could make an effort to go out and see that. I keep meaning to, just never get around to it. But even then, it's not like it's an ongoing story where you follow the characters and the title changes and all that kind of stuff. I'm tapping out. It's no fun. There's nothing fun about wrestling, and this frigging game has really just what little bit might have been there where I don't enjoy using this game at all. At all. It just frustrates me more that I paid that much money for something that's that broken. And I keep telling people it's surpassed 2K20. It's that broken. Nothing about it is right. Nothing about it, whether you want to play online, doesn't work. They have to take half the game modes away or the match modes away because they won't work. So everything that you could do last year, you can't do this year. But pay us more. I am so done. I am done. Yeah, I know. Jay's got a little laundry list he sent me of initials, and I've been meaning to check them out a little bit. But again, I just don't want to see anything to do with wrestling. disgusted with how bad it's gotten. I look at wrestling today the way most Cleveland fans are looking at the Cavaliers. You had something great recently, and you pissed it all away. And not only that, but then you come out and say, oh, we're going to lose some fans. We don't care. It's okay. The old-time fans are going to leave. We don't care. Fuck you. Cocksucker. That TKO president dude, Mike, whatever his dick is, somebody needs to take his ass out. Sean, there are a lot of games that are old games that were fun. Why should I be going back to 19 to do what I do when I pay for 26? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, maybe at some point in time I'll get into the indie stuff. I don't know. But for right now, I'm just stepping away from wrestling altogether. I just can't deal with it anymore. It makes me sick. Literally makes me ill. That Brock Lesnar thing, I just couldn't get over it. Y'all fucked up. Big time. Whether it was intentional or whether he planned on saying WrestleMania is it for me, I'm done, and they bullied him back in with a contract that, you had stipulations you haven't met. I don't believe that. I don't. I think that whole thing was... And congratulations on the work, because a lot of people, myself included, really were believing he was done. But the part that sucks is that was the perfect ending for him. You can never get that back. Whatever happens between now and SummerSlam, in my personal opinion, here's what I expect to see happen, and then I'll tell you what if I had make chicken salad out of chicken shit, this is what I would do next. But what I predict is going to happen, according to ChatGPT and the WWE's inept writing team and Paul Levesque, who I give up on him, man. I used to really believe in him, but I have zero in him anymore. What I think is they're going to have this match in Italy, in which Gunther's going to get involved and cost Brock the match. And that's going to give Oba his 2 wins in a row over the Beast. And now, of course, Brock, who was retired, but now not retired, because I got to kick that guy's ass for costing me my rematch, and we'll do that at SummerSlam, and it'll turn into a retirement match and blah. Or what I would do, first off, I wouldn't have brought him back. But since y'all let the horse out the fence, what I would do at this point is have him beat Oba. And then you have your rubber match, Ali and Frazier and all that kind of shit. You have your Thrilla in Manila or Thrilla in Minnesota, and bring it out to have the third fall there where Brock says, honestly, if I was Brock, I'd say this is my last match. Win, lose, or draw, it's my last match. If you say if I lose, I'm retiring, then we know you're going to lose 100%, even though we know you're going to lose 100% anyway, which goes back to why bother? We were pretty sure he was losing at WrestleMania, but we weren't positive. Then he loses. Then he retires without any announcement whatsoever. You cannot beat that. But they're going to try. They're going to fail, but they're going to try. Hey, Blaze Radio's in the house. What's up, man? My boy McCoy. There's no saving it, buddy. There's just no saving it. TKO is, literally, I feel like bile in my throat. They're disgusting. I'd say they're disgusting human beings, but they're not. They're creatures. Oh, yeah. Foley is in AEW. He's supposed to be doing Double or Nothing buy-in with John Moxley's wife. Yeah. Somebody once said, that'll put asses in the seats. It's funny. Mickey always finds a way to get into those promotions that run about 500 people at their shows. Back when he was doing the TNA thing, they were under 1,000 at that time as well. But, hey, kudo for Tony giving the guy a paycheck, right? Jay, I tried watching Maple Leaf back when Scott first, got canned and everybody was pissed about that and went over there. Oh, by the way, I see that the Walking Weapon is back in TNA. What happened with that over in AEW? Again, you bring a guy over there who's legit. I mean, this guy is solid. And you didn't do shit with him. I don't get it. I just don't get it. WSW, I'm not even familiar with them. Oh, they're out of Australia? Wow. Just finished their spring tour and is all free on their YouTube channel. I might look at it a little bit. I don't know. Does Brock really care about a proper send-off, Miracle? Well, did you see his reaction at WrestleMania? I think he knows. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say that was a work. And he knew it, obviously. Okay, that was a work. I don't think he's that good an actor. And when you saw the emotion from him as he was walking back up the ramp and addressing the fans and all that and seeing the love coming back from that crowd, I think part of that emotion is him realizing he fucked up. Because you're going to throw all that back in their face by making the return. And now when you do have your go-home match, literally, it's just not going to be there anymore. That same level of emotion will not. You can't capture that because it was so natural. The way it happened, it was perfect. You can't do it better than that. Yeah, I might pop it on and take a look at it a little bit. I'm just, it's not. Again, I like AAA. I watched last Saturday's. Thought it was another good show. But I felt like it was work for me to watch it. Not because of anything the entertainers themselves were doing, but because I'm so disgusted with the state of everything wrestling right now. And the only thing I can think of is to walk away. Maybe you come back a week or two after, maybe a month or two after. I don't know. I just know right now wrestling to me is work. To watch it is work. To try and use the fucking game that I paid $150 for is so much work. Because it doesn't fucking work. The only thing working is me. $2K, I swear to God, if they don't go bankrupt in the next 2 years, something is seriously wrong. We know they're losing money on this year's game. They should go bankrupt off of next year's. There's going to be literally 10% of the pre-order crowd from this year, which is substantially lower than every year prior. They might get 10% of the absolute diehards who never learn a lesson. But that's it. And then it's going to be broken. It's going to be a piece of shit, and no one's going to buy it at all. And that should put them under. That should be enough to sink the ship. I hope. Because NBA is not enough to save them. That NBA, I don't know what the numbers are. I haven't bothered to pull them up and look. I just don't think, for what I hear from their player base, I don't think that's enough to sustain the company. But anything with the WWE logo on it right now, as far as I'm concerned, I want to see it tank. I want to see it just bottom out. I want their stocks to be in the garbage. I want TKO to literally just catch fire and burn to the ground. That is the only justice that could possibly happen at this point. Well, WWE and TKO didn't get together. TKO bought them. Made them an offer they couldn't refuse. AJ Lee, she's probably done. I think that was her contractual return was done. You know, that WrestleMania thing, that was all that she really came back for, was that run. And I think she realized, you know, she's a step slower, and you know, she wasn't as smooth in the ring as the girl we remembered, but it was nice to have her back. I'm glad she came back. It was good to see her again. Nice that she got to have a real title instead of a butterfly title. But do I want to see her in the ring anymore? Nah. I mean, if she wants to accompany him for a big match or something like that and maybe get involved in that, yeah, that could work. But so far as her getting in there, just nah. Yeah, I heard something about Giovanni showing up on TNA, which again, guys, you know, when Billy Corgan's roster is starting to look almost as good, then you got a problem. What are you signing this guy for? For what purpose? What tickets is he selling? Unless he's actually at the door as you hand your money over to him. But no one's paying to see this guy. And how much mid-card talent do you want? And mid-card's being nice. He was being told to cry. Look, you could tell Brock Lesnar a lot of things. To act, I don't think that's one of them. Certainly not something in his wheelhouse. Something I never one time ever heard about Brock Lesnar starring in, or he's going to be in this movie, or no. So I don't think for a moment that he's got any acting ability in him. I think the emotions were 100% real. Were they real because he felt like, that's it, I'm done? Or was he real because, holy shit, I wasn't expecting this reaction, and now I'm about to fuck him up the ass in a few weeks, and I won't get this reaction again next time around, damn it. But not because he was acting well. No, those emotions, I got to believe, were honestly real. Infrared says, NBA isn't enough to save 2K. Fans have jumped off that ship 2 years ago. Okay, well, good. But is there another NBA game out there? There used to be multiple NBA. Used to be multiple NFLs and NHLs. You know, you didn't have just one company making the title. But I haven't bought any of those games in so many years that I've only seen EA for a lot of the other sports. EA was doing the Madden football. I'm assuming they still have that. But does anyone have NBA besides 2K? Is there another company out there that you can switch to? Because if there is, fuck, there's the problem right there. We don't have another wrestling game. And you don't even need any names. All you need is a really good creation suite. We got community people that'll take care of the rest. A good moveset, good lighting, arenas, customizable, and a good creation suite that we can share content back and forth. We'll take care of the rest, and it'll look better than the fucking AAA title that they're charging $150 for. I saw the model for Tori Wilson. I was like, now, granted, I haven't seen Tori Wilson since she was last on TV, but I don't remember her looking like that at all. When I first saw the model, I was like, why are we looking at Kelly Kelly again? And then I'm looking, I was like, what the hell did they do to Kelly Kelly? And then I'm realizing, oh, fuck, that's supposed to be Tori Wilson? I had to pull up a photo online. I was like, that doesn't look even a little bit like Tori Wilson. Good thing I don't give a shit, but I'm just saying, if anyone got the game because they were a big Tori fan, they're in for a big disappointment. The 2026 NBA playoffs are averaging 4.5 million viewers per game. This marks the league's highest average viewership at this stage of the postseason in 29 years. And what do you attribute that to? You are cursed. I'm telling you, the curse is going to start taking on a life of its own. You can't ignore it after that game. See, Josh Alexander, if booked properly, I think he does sell some tickets. I'm not saying he's Hulk Hogan. He's not even LA Knight. But he's really good at what he does. Really good. And I would have him as the TNA champion well before. Is Santana selling a ticket? He's the reason I'm not watching it. Let me know when you get a world champion. You have Moose. I said it before. I'll say it again. How the world title's not on that guy is beyond me. That is your most legit star. He's a sick athlete. He's a monster who can do things that cruiserweights do. And you don't have the belt on him? Mike Santana? Really? I can't watch it. I can't watch it. If you don't have a legit champion, I'm not watching you. Because everything after that's just garbage. And I never saw Giovanni look that good in the ring, to be honest with you. I mean, he might be a real-life good fighter. But so far as in-ring, I was never like, oh, that was a decent match by this guy. Nah. MLW's problem is they came here to Kissimmee. They had their big TV taping for the Rumble they did. And then they were done. There was like no taping. There was nothing after that for over a month. You can't do that. You've got to have weekly programming if you're going to be in that level. Oh, yeah, the NBA Live games are the fucking bomb. I got my, which one is it? Super Nintendo? I think it was Super Nintendo. I had it over here for the NBA Live 96, I think it was. Back when we had Shaq and Penny and all that good shit. I had a good old time with that game. Infrared, you're right. The TV ratings don't necessarily reflect or translate to the sale of games. Although, if people are enjoying the game enough to watch it, you would think that that would boost the sales of games, unless you have a game that's a piece of shit. In the WWE's case, they have a game and a program that are both shit. Saudi Arabia buying EA Sports. I don't see that. I mean, never say never, but so EA wanted to revamp NBA Live, but decided not to. That's a shame because, again, their live game was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I watched, what did I watch? The highlights of the Knicks game from last night when I heard about this debacle. And I had to see what a 22-point deficit turnaround with 7 minutes looked like. I coached for 12 years. I've seen it all. And I am telling you, I've never seen a team with a 22-point lead in the playoffs with 7 minutes remaining fold like an accordion. And no timeouts. That's the thing I can't get over. What the fuck? How does this guy have his job still today? He should have been fired before he got on the bus, that coach. You left timeouts on the table, you stupid fuck. I think when Danhausen cursed the team, he literally like locked the man's brain up or something. There has to be something up with Moose. I thought WWE would poach him, but they did Jordan. And look what they did with Jordan. Look what they did with Jordan. Nothing. She's not doing shit. I don't get it. Why'd you bring her in? Again, this is the WWE today. It's garbage. Joe Hendry. Oh, you brought him in because he had a hot song. His song was on the charts, and all these idiots care about is this friggin' social media bullshit. Okay, so he's a one-hit wonder. You think he's going to get another song on the charts? Really? No, he's not. He's not that talented a musician. He's a talented musician, not that talented. Hell, even that damn song shouldn't have been that big a deal. I remember, though, not that long ago, 5 years or so, a song called Dance Monkey was number one for a while. And that song was popcorn bullshit. So there's no accounting for music taste nowadays. They just did tapings in Chattanooga recently. MLW Fusion returns next month. This is what I'm talking about. You can't be disappearing for a month. If you're in Chattanooga and that's your only, I get the budget. But then you do WWE, WWF stuff, and you do a month's worth of taping in 1 or 2 nights. That's what TNA was doing. Probably still is. Infrared, I know you can weigh in on that. They come someplace, they stay 2 days, they do a month and a half's worth of TV taping, take you right up to the pay-per-view. MLW was here. You could have gone more than 3 hours. You're the ones that set that time limit. Blaze, do you play NBA video games? Or do you sim them? I'm curious now. Saudi Arabia bought EA Sports? I didn't hear that one, Andrew. Holy shit. Well, like I said, never say never. Damn, Saudi Arabia's buying everything up. We're in trouble. We are so fucking in trouble. How many teams this year were tanking at the end and ending up with 50 to 60 losses? What's that got to do with the playoffs, though? Playoffs? What? Playoffs? The curse is real, apparently. Wow, did that help his character? Yeah, dude, I was talking about this earlier. He can write his own tickets now. I mean, whatever he wants, they're just going to throw money on him. They're going to get this windfall of cash off of Danhausen. I mean, if they're not making a special shirt for whenever they go to Cleveland next, and if anyone knows, if somebody wants to look it up real quick or whatever, when's the next time WWE is going to be in Cleveland? I'm watching that episode just to see what happens to him. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he relieved the Knicks of the curse. He lifted the curse off the Knicks, and they've been undefeated ever since, 6-0. And then right before the game yesterday, he curses them, the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, she's back from injury. Good point. She's back. Where is she? Where can I see her in a match? Yeah, I'll be honest. With Joe Hendry, when I first saw him about 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it's been now, about 4 years ago, when he first rejoined TNA, I didn't see his first run in TNA. But when he first rejoined them and, they were doing the little vignette sticks where people would be like, don't say his name. Say whose name? And then all of a sudden the music would play in his head. He'd come popping out of a closet or a cabinet or something like that. And I thought it was stupid. And he had that gimmicky face of his with that stupid smile on. And I'm like, but it fit their product. They were a little bit campy back then. You have Rosemary doing that stuff, which I love that stuff. Her stuff I love, okay? That crazy Netherlands shit that she does, I like that stuff. And I thought it kind of fits the mold. You got Santino doing his shtick. You got okay. And then after a few weeks, it kind of grew on me, and I actually thought it was kind of entertaining in its own way. I'd say 3 months later, it was gone. I was like, nah, okay, I'm time to move on. And now it's just annoying. It's just annoying. And he's not that good in the ring. He's not bad, but he's not that good. He's not believable. He doesn't have a good look to him. He looks like, butter. He's like a stick of margarine. He doesn't have a great body. He's got an okay body. He doesn't wrestle great matches. They're okay matches. And I know that, TKO keeps on trying to market to the kids. And maybe that's his audience. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's able to reach that demographic. Oh, so we're talking about people tanking games on purpose to get a good draft pick. I see where we're going with this. Hello, Kevin. I'm not sure how we got into the subject of music, but okay. 59's music to 60s classic metal, classic rock, and black metal. That's it. Well, my favorite music is back to not quite that far back. I'd say late 70s through mid 80s. Oh, so you actually play. I was wondering if you actually play any games or if you sim everything you get. So good to know. Good to know. Infrared, to answer your question, yeah, that was exciting. If you're a Knicks fan, it was exciting. If you were just a fan watching the game, it's exciting. Here's the thing. How many people already turned off the TV and missed it? With 7 minutes left, up by 22, I'm going to see what else is happening on TV. But for the rest of the people that stuck with it, if you're a Cleveland fan, you're going to stay with it to the end because you want to see your team get that big wallop and win in New York. If you're a Knicks fan, you might have turned it off and said, you motherfuckers. And now you're regretting it, aren't you? But for those that were in attendance, it doesn't get any more exciting than that. That is history being made. And it's not that often that we get to say that we were there when. So, yes, that is exciting. 100% exciting. Ask the Pistons what that has to do with the playoffs. I'm going to ask you because, again, I don't follow it, so I have no idea what the Pistons references to. Like, I don't know what they did or didn't do. I know nothing about them. You want to talk about the Montreal Canadiens? The team that shouldn't still be in the Stanley Cup playoffs because they should have been out in the first round? I can talk to you about that. They are the luckiest fucking team in the history of the NHL right now that they are still in the playoffs. And I'll tell you right now, whoever's got them next, and I already forgot who it is, better wipe the damn floor with them and erase them. They do not go to the Stanley Cup Finals. They have no business where they are right now. They're the luckiest friggin' team in the history of the NHL. Spurs Thunder game, yes, not last night. Imagine the Bulls losing a double-digit lead in the 90s. Well, they didn't because they were the Bulls. And that's the whole thing. Cleveland had that lead and then just pissed it away. And I still blame the coach for 90% of that loss. You don't take timeouts. You don't try to break the momentum. You should not be a head coach. In the NBA? Maybe middle school. I'm sure there's a middle school that they could find for you. Maybe high school JV. But I guarantee you, if they don't win this series, his ass is fired. Fired. And he knows it. Don't think he don't know it. I'm sure his wife and family are probably no longer staying in their home in Cleveland right now. I'm sure they're with mother-in-laws or something like that out of state. She's on the main event, really? Is that where they're putting her on? Main event? Okay, and there's my point. WWE, force a habit. TKO wrestling is garbage. TKO is the absolute shits. They have bigger names. That's all. That's all they have is bigger names. The matches are not looking good. They're not. They're looking choreographed. They're looking soft. The realest thing I've seen in years was that AAA brawl a few weeks ago. between Ludwig and Chad. That was awesome. It was done well. And it actually got me excited for wrestling for the first time. I was like, holy shit, what am I watching? This actually feels real. Oh, was Orlando playing this year in the playoffs? I live here and I didn't know. That's how well they market the team, by the way. Now, here's something you can help me with. There is a player on the Magic, I want to say number 34, don't quote me on that. Is he married to or dating Reese, the bimbo from WNBA that can't play but thinks that everyone's watching because of her, not Caitlin Clark? Reese is the last name. I can't think of her first name right now because she's unimportant. She's the one that 2 years ago came out on ESPN or whatever it was. And said, I want y'all to know something. People are watching the WNBA right now because of Me Too. It's not just because of one player. It's because of Me Too. I want y'all to know that. She's referred to as the baby giraffe because she moves like a baby giraffe. She can't walk. She can't lay up. Oh, she's got double-double. She got double-double. She's got all the rebounds on her own misses. And still misses. Miss gets the rebound, puts it up. Miss gets the rebound, puts it up. Miss gets the rebound, turnover. She misses layups at an incredible, an unfathomable proportion for what she's getting paid, especially. He's dating her. Well, according to the video I saw, he plays just like her. So is it a sexually transmitted disease? Is what I'm wondering. Because I didn't think an NBA player could play like her. But then I'm seeing the stuff they're showing, and it's like, holy damn, it's a male version of her. Oh, the Cavs are not the Bulls, but you're still an NBA team, and you have a 22-point lead in 7 minutes. You should be able to run the clock out on a 22-point lead. They're making more turnovers than Betty Crocker, for crying out loud. Angel Reese. How did I forget that name? That girl's so delusional. She's actually, not only that, and that's why I would at least watch the WNBA, because I appreciate women's basketball. That's what I coached. Because it's played in a pure sense. There's no dunking the damn ball. There's none of this, oh, look at me. I could jump this high and I could do the twirls in the air and blah, 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 blah. Me. With girls basketball, it has to be a team sport because it's on the ground the way it was meant to be. And I enjoy that. I was a big WNBA fan back when the Orlando team was here. Used to take the team. We'd all go. Get the families together. Moms and dads would all go and we'd watch the Miracle games. And then, slowly but surely, it started becoming grungy, like the NBA. It started getting real, just gnarly and not fun anymore. And then all of a sudden, here comes this girl who can do things that you'll never see done again in women's basketball, not in this lifetime. And rather than embracing this, she's the wrong color. That's not going to work. And anyone who doesn't think the WNBA is the most racist league existing today, you are just ignoring what's in front of you. It's disgusting. They allowed their cash cow. They were never filling up real arenas until she came along. They had to move games from their normal home to the NBA arena in town to accommodate the tickets. But only when Caitlin was going to be there. The rest of the games, we can go back to our place and barely try to fill the 5,000 seats. And you're going to try and tell me that that's not your wouldn't put her in the All-Star game. Wouldn't put her on the Olympic team. Are you people out your friggin' minds? And they beat the living shit out of her. And in an abbreviated season, it's only a 2.5 months, 3 months long season. She ends up sitting out most of it because she got physically beat up. And they allowed it. And I say thank God for Sophie Cunningham because that girl steps up and she horse-collared that bitch last year and threw her head first down into the floor. And I say, bravo, do it some more. But that's the thing now. The WNBA has become hockey. You have to have a goon out there. You have to have someone, an enforcer, to protect your star player. That's not the way the game's supposed to be played. It's not. And the fact of the matter is, you taking her against, what's the other dyke's name? Not Dyke, what am I saying? I'm sorry. The guy's name who thinks, the one that got arrested in Russia, whose name's, it's easy to forget these people because they're so forgettable. But the schmuck that got arrested in Russia, who was, by the way, put into a men's prison until there's some weird stuff went on there, and then they eventually moved him to the women's. Stop. You ain't fooling nobody. But here you got a guy who's like 6'9", and he can't play basketball. Not even on the women's division. And I just can't. Wendell Carter. People like her because she has a body. Honestly, dude, I'm trying to be fair. There ain't nothing special about her looks. I think her face is ugly. She does not have a good face. She's not pretty at all. Not even a little bit. On a 1 to 10, she's a 2 face. And that's what all that damn makeup and glam bullshit on her. From the neck down, maybe a 6. At best. And if you want to factor the personality in, now you're looking at a 3 overall. And if you want to add her basketball talent to the mix, then we're back to a 1. Exactly my point, he says. Now, I'm not sure which point we're talking about because I've been bouncing around. Wendell Carter averages 10 a game and is a role player who knows his role. She is a clown who is dumb as bricks, as the bricks she shoots. Yeah. I mean, Blade, I am sure that you have seen this guy's videos that come out after every one of her games. Angel Reese Part 5 and shows all. This guy's commentary is hilarious. My sides are aching with this guy. I gotta find one. Hold on a minute. Gotta find some. Shorts. Where are the shorts? Come on. Usually all you get are the shorts. Here we go. Is this him?
Angel Reese,
Yep.
Part 33. Let's get it.
Only lost by 25 this time.
Bang!
That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick.
Bang!
She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it?
Bang!
Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again.
Bang!
Another me-bound. Do it again.
Bang!
Another me-bound. One more time.
Bang!
Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball? Someone tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now.
Bang!
Free throws ain't free.
Bang! Again! Bang!
All right, brother. Who at the zoo is responsible for letting the giraffes out of their habitat? How many steps was that? Traveling.
Bang!
Does a fly and Angel Reese have in common? They both get swatted.
Bang!
Ice cream company reached out. They said, I want to sponsor you. I said, you don't have my flavor. They said, what's your flavor? I said, butter pecan.
Bang!
He's shooting 23% from less than 5 feet from the basket. 4 of 17 from right there.
What?
Throws are fundamentals.
Bang!
What did she do in the offseason?
Bang! Angel Reese!
This guy, I look forward to his videos. I laugh my ass off. I just can't stop laughing when I watch his stuff. And it's all accurate, too. So she's got me bounds and pray ups. Those are the two things he... And then, last year, he comes up with the me bounds, right? Everyone talking about her stats. They're not rebounds. They're me bounds. I got my rebound. She went out there and tried to copyright it for herself. And I'm like, bitch, it's not a positive. This is not what you want to put on your shirt. What, a picture of you getting a me bound? She's too stupid to be real. But they will shit all over Caitlin Clark simply because she's the wrong color. And you will never convince me it's anything. And it's the whole league is in on it. With those referees allowed to happen to her last year, I thought for sure she was gone. I thought she was going to Europe. I wanted her to go to Europe. Go someplace where they will respect your talent and let this league close, because they would have. They would have gone out of business completely. If she leaves, they're done. They're done. She's the only thing they've had ever. And I'm talking about, there was a day where I used to be able to name them all, like Sue Bird and Ruth Riley and Cheryl Swoops. And, every team had some really good talent, and they were good matchups, and it was fun basketball. And now you got, like, Diana Taurasi, of all people, was coming out and giving her shit when she came into the league. Outside of UConn, what'd that bitch ever do? I used to be a fan of hers, and, man, now it's like I don't even want to know her. She's such a bitch. No surprise. Yeah, and by the way, who's the head coach on the Indiana Fever? Because that's another person about to lose their job. And I love the fact that CC is standing right up to her and basically telling her, fuck off. Because I got news for you. That coach will be gone long before Caitlin Clark. And that needs to happen. That coach needs to be fired immediately. Do not wait. Brittany Griner. There you go. Brittany Grinder. The WNBA player with a dick. Thanks for the heads up on that, Infrared. I wasn't sure what we were talking about exactly. But yeah, a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter. Not even the fourth quarter. 7 minutes left in the game. How can you not just run it? You don't need another basket. You just need to run out the clock. Do the math. Shot clock is what, 24 seconds? How many 24 seconds are there in a minute? How many minutes left in the game? All you got to do is run out the damn clock, guys. Take a knee. Oh, my God. Watching the highlights of that game, what came back to me was the Orlando Magic, again, going back to, I think it was 96, where we made it to the finals against the Houston Rockets, and I'm telling you, this city was on fire for the Orlando Magic, like nothing I've ever experienced before. They had to actually make a merch store, a physical brick-and-mortar store just next to the arena, and they would only allow 25 people in at a time because there were so many people that it would break fire code. And this wasn't even that small a building. They would limit it, well, that and shoplifting, I guess, but they were limiting it to 25 to 30 people at a time. It was like rationing the gas back in the 70s just to get T-shirts and shit. And we waited in those lines, and we got our T-shirts and shit. And then the finals comes along, and we're about to win game one. All we need to do is hit a free throw. That's it. One free throw, it's over. Nick Anderson, number 25, gets fouled. He's one of our best all-around shooters. Misses. Second shot. Misses. They get the rebound. We get the stop. We get the ball back. Goes to Anderson. Gets fouled again. All right, he ain't going to miss 4 in a row. But he did. And we lost the game. And then we lost 3 straight after that. And here's my point. You lose a game like that, you don't come back from it. Mentally, you just don't come back from it. Scott Norwood. Wide right. Never kicked a meaningful field goal again the rest of his career. And missed a bunch of normal gimmies. You can't tell me that didn't fuck up his head. Same thing with the Cavaliers. There's no way mentally this year that they come back from this. I'm not saying they're going to get swept. They're not going to beat the Knicks. Nope. That's done. The only possible way for them, the only possible way is they would have to come out in game 2 at the Garden and light the Knicks up somehow. And with the curse on them, I don't see it happening. I mean, if it's a close game near the end, I wouldn't be surprised to see Danhausen out there doing his little sneaking trick like you can't see me, and tying their shoes together because he can't afford to have his gimmick ruined. Yeah, being from Pittsburgh, I can see where you wouldn't like Cleveland too much. That's why first-round picks in the WNBA get cut after a year or less. Again, I haven't followed the WNBA in a decade at least. The last person I gave a shit about was Becky Hammond. Becky Hammond. I liked her a lot. I thought she was a sparky little player. Another one who never got... She was a great talent, especially in her heyday, when she was playing for the Liberty. She was a phenomenal player. And did they put her on all-star teams? No. Did they... I think about it. She did do an all-star team. They didn't put her on the Olympic team. I remember that, which was bullshit because she was definitely one of the best players. And I think she might have done the all-star game like 1 or 2 times. I don't think more than that, but I could be wrong. But they never gave her just desserts. Again, I mean, Sue Bird is one of the few girls in the WNBA. And you couldn't ignore her because she was good. But Caitlin Clark is going to destroy any record Sue Bird has. She's going to destroy any record any of them has. And yet the league and the coaching, her own coach, they're all against her. They're all plotting to harm her, to keep her down, to stifle her productivity. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. It's painfully obvious. The fix is in. This is our sport. Yeah, Blaze, I mean, you could sit there and watch 100 basketball games with a 22-point lead and 7 minutes left to go, and only one time is the other team going to come back and win. So would the majority of people sit there to see if this is the one? No, majority probably wouldn't. But those that did, they got a special treat. Rob Thorne, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Fire Pro, yeah, man, that's good old stuff there. Yeah, hopefully. But like I said, man, for me, I'm stepping out for a while because I just can't deal with wrestling anymore. It's not fun for me. I don't enjoy it at all. I feel like I played hockey for just over 20 years, right? And I knew when it was over for me because I had to go to my game, which normally I look forward to. And it's like, I don't want to get off the couch. I don't want to get in the car. I don't want to drive to the place. I didn't want to play. But I was already on a team. We were already in the season. I'm the goalie. And I played that season out, and I was done. And I said, maybe I'll come back to it later. About 3 years later, I sold all my equipment off. Haven't looked back. I can watch it now, but it's not what it used to be. Yeah, Stephanie White, that's the coach, right? Yeah, she's about to be unemployed. Her and the head coach of the Cavs going to both get fired. Maybe they can switch. Maybe we can tag them in and out. Both going to be looking for jobs about the same time. Again, I'd be firing her ass now. It's early in the season. Hell, let Caitlin run the damn team. Back in the old days, you had player coaches, remember? Maybe that's the answer. I guarantee you something, Indiana be the team to beat. '95 NBA, yeah, okay. I knew it was right in that window there somewhere. And by the way, never got back to it again after that. It all fell apart after that loss. Yeah, well, if the series shifted in game 1, that's not a good thing. It's bad enough if it's game 5, but game 1, ouch. Becky Hammon was undrafted? I did not know that. How is that possible? I mean, look, she's a shorty, but she's a guard. And by the way, first woman to be an NBA coach, not a head coach, but a coach. Actually, now that may have changed. Has she ever been a head coach? I know she was with San Antonio for a while as an assistant. And I think she was a head coach in the WNBA, if I'm not mistaken. I tried getting her to come to one of our summer camps to teach, do a summer camp with the kids. We just couldn't connect timeline. She was playing at that time, so there was no way to make that happen. But yeah, I always had a real. I just liked watching her play. I thought she was really smooth. For a little firecracker, she could just make people look stupid. And she was kind of cute, too, so if we're going to call it like it is. When the WNBA first started, do I remember Kim Perrott? Not really, no. Name is vaguely familiar. What was her role and or title? Was she a player or a coach? Of course she's got the world champions. It doesn't surprise me. So she's got the Las Vegas Aces. Again, if there's ever going to be a female basketball coach in the NBA, head coach, she better be first. She's a hell of a talent. She knows this game. Point guard for the Houston Comets. Man, that name is not ringing a bell. Houston had Cheryl Swoops, right, back in the day? Kim Perrott. Actually, the name now is a little bit more familiar. Only because I'm tying her to Houston, but yeah, I mean, if you gave me 10 pictures in front of me and said one of them's her, I wouldn't be able to pick it out. She was the point guard for the Comets. Yeah, I got nothing on that. My memory does not recall her. That was the team Cheryl Swoops was part of, though, right? I'm trying to remember a couple other names on there, but like Ruth Riley, who'd she play for? That girl's a tall drink of water. She could play, though, man. She was, for a tall girl, man, she had some nice skills. Can't recall. Ruth Riley. I think she wasn't Seattle. Sue Bird was Seattle. Did Sue and Ruth play together? I don't think so. Swoops, Cooper, Tina Thompson, there's a name, and Kim Perrott. Hell, I can't remember the roster now for the Miracle, and I used to know the starting five without a problem, but right this minute, couldn't tell you. I know we had some decent talent. When they relocated him to Connecticut, I was like, oh, man, that sucks. Because it's a cheap game. You know, you're getting tickets for like $15, $20. It was good basketball. You pay for the cheap seats. You move down. Nobody said nothing about it because they wanted to look full on TV anyway. Well, anyway, we'll see how the curse does. I guess tomorrow night probably is the next one for the Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Don't think everybody ain't going to be watching that game just to see. What? Oh, dude, I didn't know that. Was she playing on the team at that time? Oh, that's horrible. Ooh, that is not good. Man. You never know. You never know. All right, folks. Well, that's all I got right now. The Giannetti thing was a surprise to me, so I knew he had issues. I didn't know it got to that level. So, kind of a disappointing thing to have to know that. And he's not the kind of... I don't see him having the personality of a Buff Bagwell that he's going to look at the positive side of it or something. I hope he does. But, yeah, somehow, I don't know. They found the tumor after they won their third straight title. Ooh. Wow. Doesn't that put everything in perspective, right? I bet that she thought that third straight title thing was a huge part of her life and, you know, going to be part of the legacy I leave behind. Oh, by the way, there's that old joke from back in the day. It was told about baseball players. The pitcher and the first baseman one day are on their way to the game, and they're just talking to each other. And says, "Do you think there's baseball in heaven?" The pitcher says to the first baseman. And he's like, "Honestly, I don't know, but I hope so. Hey, let's make a pact right now. Whichever one of us dies first, come back and tell the other guy if there's baseball in heaven or not. Deal." Week or two later, the first baseman gets killed in a car accident. Another couple days later, pitcher's over there warming up before the game. And all of a sudden, the first baseman appears to him. He says, "Hey, oh my God, it's not the same without you on the team, but is there baseball in heaven?" And he says, "I got good news and I got bad news." "Well, what's the good news?" "There is baseball in heaven." "What's the bad news?" "You're starting tomorrow night." Well, that's where it's at right now, folks. Anyway, like I said, I'm taking a break from wrestling. I've had enough. It's just not entertaining to me anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's too much like work to watch it. I'll still come on and do these little things once in a while when newsworthy events take place. That's worth at least chatting about because I enjoy these chats. But so far as spending hours of trying to get a broken game to work or trying to sit back and watch the most unwatchable in-ring performances and storytelling that is absolute garbage, I just can't do it. I'm tapping out. So, well, like I said, I'll be doing some other gaming stuff, and the Game On program that'll run here. So if you want to watch me do other stuff that's non-wrestling, pop in. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this one. And everybody have a great rest of your day, unless you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, in which case, sorry about your damn luck. And I remind you guys,
bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye-bye.